All
All
right,
right,
here we go.
I'm
Back.
before we start, dude. I'm like I like I knew it was bad, and I've been on this trend for a little while now. I have been betting a lot of their unders. I am looking at these scores and like I'm actually cracking up. Like I like I don't know. I don't usually get like the I don't laugh this much at certain stats, but I mean, like, are you kidding me? 16-17 loss, 16-9 win, 11-10 win. Only
Oh my
except
God.
32-23 they lost. Colts 12, Broncos 9, Broncos 16, Chargers 19, Jets 16, Broncos 9. Like it is unbelievable how just how similar and how horrible all of their games are. Oh man, too funny.
Yeah, I was reading it'd be the first time in history the number one scoring defense and offense and last scoring offense would be the same team.
Oh my.
Um, and I think that's where they are right now. So it's weird. I don't know. I'm excited to see where I think Derek Carr in the offseason. I mean Russell Wilson too. Not that he'll get traded, but two quarterbacks that I don't know. They're just in weird states of their careers, which
I mean, I'd much rather have Derek Carr now. I'll say that.
yeah, I just wonder. I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. I guess it would be the Saints or the Jets. I think would be the two teams that would
Yeah,
want him.
yeah.
I mean the Colts maybe, but I think I like him on the Jets a lot. I
Jets could
think
be
that'd
very
be
interesting.
good. Yeah. Next up, Bengals at the Steelers. It's weird. We have a couple. I guess we're at that point of the season. We got some rematches going on. Bengals at the Steelers. This is actually the same spread. It looks like it was week one. Maybe
I know.
not. 4 points.
Yeah,
Gonna be around there in the Vegas zone. Let's see, 4.5. We're getting it for.
yeah.
I like. I don't know. I don't have a strong take. I remember we took Pittsburgh week one here.
I got
What do you
Pittsburgh.
think?
I think I have him.
Top one. Wow.
Yeah.
Top dog. Wow. Okay.
Look, I don't know. Like I just think that some like the Bengals kind of as we expected, one of our at least one of my few preseason takes that is actually panning out pretty well. Um, I think that the Bengals struggle against like this is going to be like a no shit statement, but teams that have the Bengals figured out just always have them figured out. Browns
Yeah.
being one of
Yeah.
them, and Steelers are I think one of them as well. It's teams that can get to Joe Burrow pretty easily, make him throw the ball quick, and again, still no Jamar Chase. TJ Watt is an absolute game wrecker and a game changer. And I mean, look, their offense is not. It's just, I mean, what bottom 3, 4 in the league, but um, yeah, I don't think it needs to be that good when you have such a good defense. You just need what is the over under here?
41.
41, 4 point. What do we four? What's it at
Yeah.
now?
4 points, 4.5. So what would that be? Like 20.
24,
Oh, yeah.
20?
Yeah. 22-18 around there. Yeah.
18.
22-18.
Yeah, so it's look, that's
Steelers to score 18. Yeah. That doesn't seem
yeah,
that hard.
that's
I don't know.
that's doesn't seem that hard. I mean, there's a chance that one of those is defensive.
Yeah.
And even if not, like their defense is or their offense is again, it's not good. I'd say bottom, yeah, as I said, 5, 6, whatever. But I don't know. Like Pickens is nice. Um, they're the two-headed tandem now of Najee and what's his name, Jalen Warren. That's kind of fun for our dynasty
I
prospect.
know. Warren and Rashad White, they're saving us.
Goodness, but yeah, I think that I just feel good about them. It's again one of those games where I don't have a whole lot of I never have stats or anything to back it up, but it's just a big gut check, big feeling for me here. Um, I don't know. What have the Bengals shown us all season? It's like they'll win some games here and they'll have these epic flashes, but then go against a team that's better
Boom.
coached,
Yeah. They
better,
can't play good
right?
teams.
They just fall
Yeah.
apart. So
Yeah. And it doesn't look like tomorrow play. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the ones that I'm good with Pittsburgh High. Kenny Pickett joins Ryan Leaf and Jimmy Clausen as the only two quarterbacks to only have two touchdown passes this far into their career. So not
yeah,
good company for Pickett, but like I don't know. A lot of people are ready to, say he's a like Josh Rosen level bust. I don't know.
I mean he's like I don't know because it's like I think he has more tools than Rosen ever had. Clearly, he's more of like a like I don't know. I think Rosen is just at least in our lifetime just like maybe the all-time bust, just because like you could see it from like a mile away. It was like, what does this guy actually do well? It's
Yeah, he
like,
couldn't step on the field. I mean,
right, it's
Pickett,
like
I feel like doesn't look out of
he doesn't
place.
look lost, right? And he's
Yeah,
pretty athletic.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they're just. I mean, he also doesn't. I don't know. They don't really like, they haven't like unleashed him. It's like he hasn't really been put in spots where it's like, yeah, just go out there and air it out. So I mean, I
yeah.
understand there's probably a reason for that. It's that they don't feel confident enough yet. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like I don't think the jury's really out on him quite yet. I think he probably needs another full season under his belt, and their line is also horrible, so he doesn't have a ton of time to actually go
Yeah.
out decision. So I
People
mean,
say this is like one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league too. It's
so
tough.
yeah,
Uh,
he's I think Jerry's is yeah he's still got some time to figure things out.
Yeah, maybe a victim. I'll just say real quick of his cast. See, you hear the big names: Pickens, Najee, Deontay.
Yeah.
I mean, Najee might be the worst running back starting the league right now. Deontay Johnson has been last in yards per target the past like
hmm
3 years. And George Pickens, I don't know. He's a flashy rookie, but I don't think he's really that good either. So
He's not very
you hear Steelers and you know a lot of names, but I think I think there's a lot of bad players on this team. Anyway, next up, this is I like this game. You have it differently than I would have. Everyone's talking about this on Twitter. Vegas is begging people to take the Minnesota Vikings. The spread is minus plus
yeah
1.5 right now for the Vikings. So I guess basically a pick 'em. We're also getting a plus 1.5. It's tough. I mean, that Cowboys game last week is one of the weirder games of the year. I don't even. I mean, you cannot do if you're the Cow. I mean, I was going in last week and I said, wait a minute. We might have been misjudging this the whole time. The Cowboys might have the best odds to make the Super Bowl of the NFC. And then they go out and do that to the Packers. That's a game you got to win by 20 points or more. I
yep
mean, man, I was starting to buy back in. I'm like, we kind of forgot how good this team was last year just because of, they got unlucky and had to play the Niners round one. But this was the best team, one of the best teams in the league last year, and they're starting to play like it. I don't know. If they're that type of team, last week doesn't happen. It's so frustrating because I was like ready to come on here and be like, I think the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC. I really like what they could do. So I don't know. The Vikings great win last week. I mean, that was a crazy game. I like it as a pick 'em. Like I think that's what it's supposed to be. So I don't have a take either way. What do you think?
yeah no. So it's funny because I put it high. Um, Not I don't want to say on purpose to spur a conversation, but I put it high knowing that you'd be on the other end. Like I just
Yeah, yeah. I definitely lean Dallas, but also, I mean, I
no,
guess the line I would like is Minnesota +2.
yeah,
Plus 1.5, which is
yep.
like, I don't know.
No. So I look, I totally agree, and you look at it and you'd think like I think most would look at that as a major trap line. It's like how on earth is Dallas favored after such a miserable performance last week, right? Just so weird. Like what the hell happened, as we just said. Um, so that I think it's why, right? You should be enticed to take him because it's like, what does Vegas know again? It's one of those. It's kind of like that Jags Giants line.
Yeah,
Like the
right.
Jags are favored
Yeah.
for just reasons. What do they know? So then they didn't know anything, but I have the Vikings high because I think they have the knack to win games that they're not maybe supposed to, whereas the Cowboys have the knack to lose games that they're definitely not supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really the only basis that I'm cooking with again, as you've tended to see. I don't have a very scientific approach to any of my picks. I go kind of off that cuff. What I will say though is it would make a lot of sense for the Vikings to lose this game. They won last week when they shouldn't have. They've won a ton of their games when they shouldn't have. Maybe finally they'll be proven as I don't think they're fraudulent, but if you look at a lot of what happened in that Bills game, it's like holy cow! That Justin Jefferson catch is amazing, but if the defender in the Bills swats it like he should have instead of trying to intercept it, that
Yeah,
game,
right. Yeah.
like from let's look at this from every single lens possible. Let's say that this is a tie game or for whatever I don't know, not tie game, but let's just say that um, it isn't the end of the game on that play. If you swat that ball, it's fourth down. You have better field position. So it's like I'm not, trying to say like whatever. I'm no defensive guru, but just swat that ball.
Yeah, really.
It is completely useless to catch the ball because field position again in that regard doesn't even matter. But just in general, just swat that ball. It does not matter. You're getting the ball back
Yeah.
no matter what. the game is over if that ball hits the ground. So what are you trying to do picking that off? I think that a lot of defensive backs, for whatever reason, just have, blinders on. It's, oh my God, a ball that I can catch. This is my interception. So, but again, the fact that he somehow still corralled that was just absolutely insane. So, I mean, look, to bring it all back together, the Vikings are on this miraculous run of like, holy cow, how do they keep managing to pull these off? Cowboys, on the other hand, have all the talent in the world, and on paper, look like the team that should be winning games, much like how the Vikings have, or unlike how the Vikings have. It's just they go, they win, they take care of business to move on. The Vikings, they go, they screw around a little bit. I mean, it happened 2 weeks ago against, what was it, the Commanders?
Yeah,
They
that was
they kept it really late. It's just like time after time they find a way to pull these wins out. So it's either just going to keep on going, and that's just how they are, or finally they're like, oh, you know what, our end of the road here for us. We'll be beaten by, which again, I agree with you. I think is a much better team. Defense is great, have a ton of weapons. But I don't know, bit of a tangent there, but it's just such a fascinating line to me.
It's gonna be a fun
So
game. Yeah,
it really is.
and plus I'm gonna say it's at Minnesota. I think this is gonna be one of the best home field advantages of the year. I mean,
Yeah,
that place is gonna be loud.
100%. And
Primetime game, I guess in terms of 4 o'clock window. It's I mean I like it straight up as a pickup, so I'm good with Minnesota getting the extra point and a
it's
half
a
too.
game. It's a game that you really wish Joe Buck and Aikman were on. Like
Yeah, right. That's so sad. It
this
is
is
sad.
the game. I don't think Burkhart and Olsen are bad at all, but this is the game where like dude, it's gonna be cold out.
You
It's
could hear it. Yeah, you could hear
Thanksgiving.
it. Yeah.
You could feel it. You could feel that game. Um,
It is. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, because the thing with Monday Night Football is everyone's kind of over it by then anyway,
yeah,
But man, Buck and Aikman really are the best. So I do like, and it's tough because I like the Manicast anyway. Now I don't listen to Manicast because I like Buck and
exactly.
Aikman. Um, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. The one thing I'd say is, so I'm going in last week. Let's just say last Saturday. I didn't know these two teams played each other, but like, man, I really thought Dallas they're gonna win that game by like 20 against Green Bay. They won that game by 20 last week. This might be like, what do you think the spread would be? Like 6, 5?
Oh my God. Yeah. No. 100%. 100%.
It's so it's weird, right?
It's
I don't know.
it's one of the more I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what the word is, but again, we'll just default to saying that it's, to me, you know what it is? This is, and again, this could look funny next week, but I think this is going to be the game that we thought Philadelphia, Minnesota was earlier in the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Like two teams who will be perennial forces in the NFC. And again, we've been correct on that part. But I I thought we'd learn a lot more from that Eagles Vikings game than we actually did. I think we'll learn a lot from this game because
Oh yeah, yeah, agreed.
we're really gonna know now. Because again, it's, as I said, it's two teams who have found a way just to be on certain ends of the result, on the result in very different ways. It's again,
Yeah.
Vikings Vikings are finding a way to win. Cowboys are finding interesting ways to lose, despite the fact that I think, as you said, Cowboys are a better team. So I'm excited. This is
It's gonna be a
probably
fun game. Yeah,
the
it's
game
caught
I've
my
been looking
eye.
forward to most all season. So
And everyone is talking about they're begging you to take the Vikings. They're begging you to take the Vikings.
yeah,
It's interesting because I didn't even think of it this way too. If the Vikings lose by 20 to the Bills, I mean, yeah, it probably would have been like a 5 point spread,
yeah.
right?
If
It's
that
crazy.
never happens, if that Dalvin Cook, I mean, even the Dalvin Cook, if that Josh Allen interception never happens, like
Yeah.
this is, yeah. So
Yeah,
look,
it's two teams that are like it's gonna be a fun game, man.
it's two such different teams
Yeah.
that, for just so many different reasons, but really should not be that different. It's like they're just like, if you look at it from a very basic perspective, it's two of the best teams in the NFC, so they're not that different in that regard. But the way they play, the way they've won, the way they've lost, so different, and that's why it's so fascinating. But yeah, maybe this will be the what we thought the Bills game was going to be last week.
Yeah.
Dallas goes up, and then Dallas goes up like they did against the Packers, but then it's, all systems go. They keep grinding, and it's like a I don't know. It's fun to think about.
Yeah, 48 point over under. Next up, Chiefs at the Chargers, another rematch. This is right now, it's a 5.5 point spread, which is crazy because you go back to week 2 when they played, it was a 3.5 point spread for the Chiefs at home. Now they're on the road and it's 5.5. Turn of events for sure. I am gonna hold back on an opinion just because it seems like Mike Williams and Keenan might play.
That's
If
so.
they're both healthy, I love the Chargers. If they're both out, I love the Chiefs. So if I'm
I put That's funny. I put the Chiefs low because I didn't know what to do based on those injuries. Because yeah, I mean, like it doesn't take a genius to say that they're a different team without Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So you get those two guys back, and all of a sudden this offense is going to look like what we thought the Chargers were going to look like at the start of the season. Um, Chargers are Chargers are in that same category to me as kind of like the Raiders, the Saints, just like those weird teams. They're the best of that category, but just a team where I feel like I never have much of an opinion on. I know you differ in that regard a little bit, but it's obviously not to do with their actual players. But dude, Staley just, my God, does he ever leave a sour taste in my mouth? You know, it's like it is. I never know what to expect because you can't even predict. You can't get a normal game flow.
Yeah, 5 minutes into that Falcons game, they're down 10-0.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
that's the thing. It's like I can't. I need to when I make a bet on a team, I need to have at least some sort of idea. I need a picture in my head of what this game could look like. Dude, I never have a clue what what the Chargers are going to look like in any game, and there's nothing. No, I have
Yeah.
no reason to believe otherwise.
That was one thing about that annoying about that Falcons game we went to. I mean, Chargers go 2-3 down twice to start the game. The Falcons are up 10-0 with the ball with like 8 minutes left in the first quarter. I mean, Chargers got some issues, and it's funny we didn't get to talk about it, but the big like just how we talked about the Vikings spread last week was, man, the Chargers are getting like 7 points against the Niners. They're a weird team for sure. I'm gonna guess Mike Williams and Keenan don't play, which makes you like the Chiefs a lot. But we shall see.
If they don't play, then let's definitely move them up.
Yeah.
I have them lower now because I just don't know what their situation is. But yeah, definitely move them up.
Yeah, they're 49ers players. We're talking smack about the Chargers OC too. It's a weird situation. Next up, 49ers. It's crazy. I mean, everyone loves the 49ers. They're like fourth and third in some people's power rankings. Which I mean, like, you know, I consider myself one of the highest people on the Niners, but I can't really go much higher than fourth in the power rankings, right? I guess Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Niners. I don't know. But anyway, giving 8 points, 7.5. We're getting it 4 against the Cardinals. Cardinals are better with Colt McCoy. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Sounds like Colt McCoy is going to start again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the Niners. I can't not roll with them.
Yeah, no, I got them for what do I got them for? Middle-ish of the pack.
Middle.
I guess
Yeah.
it's not a full 16 or 1 through 16 here, but yeah, have them 8. It's interesting to see that, you know, Elijah Mitchell's back and he's getting the touches that I did not expect at all. So it's another committee, I guess, but maybe you know, Shanahan clearly knows more than we would, but like I just thought if you trade that much for CMC, you'd make him an absolute just, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't know, a ball hog, but it's definitely smart. You know, I mean, I guess it's weird because you think Eli Mitchell's the change of pace guy, but I think he outsnapped him in that game. So I don't know. It's an
Yeah, I'm
interesting.
guessing they just want him for the postseason, and they know
Yeah,
Mitchell's
and that's
good enough.
fine. You know, it's smart because he's
Yeah.
obviously he's been injury prone in years past. So it's just interesting now. But yeah, I mean, we were.
I mean, but to be fair, for the postseason, this team's one game out of missing the playoffs. So
Yeah, so we got.
I guess that really doesn't apply actually.
Yeah, no, but I totally agree. Yeah, and I think that you know we'll be doing postseason version of this, I'm sure. And if there's not an actual pool, we'll be doing it just for our own good. But yeah, I mean the Niners are just that team. They're kind of like a March Madness team where it's like, you know, let them just kind of dwell throughout the regular season, but then, you know, come tournament time,
Yeah.
it's like you always know to point to these guys because they always find a way to figure it out. And maybe they don't have the juice to go all the way, but I don't know. I like them. And quick aside, I do think it's hysterical with this whole Kyler and Atlanta and Arizona situation. Like Bill is, of course, quick to call it a Ewing theory. I don't know if I call it a Ewing theory per se, but I mean, clearly there's quite a rift between him and the organization, and especially with Cliff. So very interested to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, it's really his brand's just so big, but it's been a while now. I mean, his whole career, he's never really ranked above 20th in like any of the like advanced metrics in terms of quarterbacks. And I don't know. I think everyone just looks at it. It's like, no, fuck that. Kyler Murray's good, but maybe Kyler Murray isn't that good. I don't know. Like, I think he's definitely electric, but Justin Fields is electric, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna say Justin Fields is, you know, deserving of $250 million. So it's weird. It is a weird situation. I don't know. Just seems like Not a guy you want to be leading your franchise. But certainly talented for sure. Maybe in a different system, a better system, he'd be good. Not good. He's good, even if the numbers don't say it, but he'd be as good as his talent would indicate, I
Right.
guess. So that is weird. I guess the one team I want to talk about that's not playing this week, Miami Dolphins. I mean, man, Mike McDaniels. I love how all of these players, these coaches from the 2016 Falcons are just like all gonna make the Hall of Fame, and then none of them are gonna have a Super Bowl ring. What a great story. I mean, Tua, Waddle, McDaniel, just they're fun to watch. They're awesome. It's a really cool coach. There's a video I was just looking right now of Flores talking to Tua last year versus McDaniel talking to Tua
Mhm.
this year.
Yeah.
And I like Flores, but man, that's why I said, we'll see what happens with the Jets offensive coordinator, but there's not a lot of Mike McDaniels in the league. So
Yeah.
it's been
I
fun to
think
watch.
I think it's kind of silly that, again, I'm talking about Bill Simmons, the the NFL guru here, but I don't know where he gets this idea that like him and Sal just like they think he's not a good coach? Like I don't get it. Like they talk about him like it's like kind of up like it's kind of up in the air whether or not he's a good coach.
Yeah,
He's
it's
doing.
great. I think he's like a top 15 asset in the NFL.
I don't understand like how like
Yeah.
sure maybe he's not like an amazing like game manager, but like I don't know. I think he's fine. Like and he's a genius on offense. Like I don't know. Like I again like I'm getting mad at someone's opinion who probably shouldn't matter on the on NFL coaches, like he's got his silly takes and not just that, but like I mean, you're way more in the weeds than I am. Like that can't be a popular opinion throughout. I
No,
mean,
I would say most people got him top 10,
God almighty.
And
That's
I would have him. That's what I think the episode I'm most looking forward to is I think after the season, we'll do one. We'll rank the quarterbacks, 1 through 30, or whoever's gonna, worth it. But man, I love ranking head coaches and head coaching candidates. Because I think you can make a case, Mike McDaniel's been a top 15 head coach the past 5 years,
yeah.
So that's why it's so interesting. Like someone like Dable, like if we did this episode even 2 years ago in like January, we probably have Dable like what 17, so or
Yeah.
Arthur Smith, we probably would have had like 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be fun. But yeah, because I was thinking about like Mike McDaniels would probably be 6th or 7th on my list.
Yeah.
Great coach, and he's so young. Same thing like I was saying about McVay earlier. I mean, they might have their coach for the next 25 years, which would be pretty awesome. But fun to see. I hope they keep going. Otherwise, we'll try to get out quick now. But yeah, dynasty team. We'll talk about it more next week, I guess, because we're still a little bit from the trade deadline, so we have time. I think we got 2 more weeks till the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to make some moves. We'll see. We'll see if we hold. It's tough. We have my take right now. We'll keep seeing what players are coming available, but since we have the bye clinched, man, like all we gotta do is win 2 games in December. And like it's really not that hard when you look at it that way. And you can view it that way. I'm like, it's not that hard. We don't have to shell out some picks, or you can say, man, if it's that easy, let's shell out some picks and make it easier.
Yeah.
So we'll keep seeing, one more injury. We probably can't. Doesn't matter. Our decision will be made. But I think since we last talked, it's been Bateman, Goddard, and Cup. So 3 starters, 3 pretty good. I mean, Goddard's been awesome. I texted you. Goddard might have been our best pick. Then he gets hurt the next play. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I felt a lot better when Dolchich was kind of seeming like a guy. And he's by all accounts, we've seen he's super talented, but I just don't trust him in that offense, dude. It's like
I think I have confidence in him starting every week. I'm pretty
I hope
confident.
so.
It's just, but I was going to start him in the flex this week was the problem. Yeah, I wasn't even putting in tight end. Right now we got Jarek in the flex.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I mean, he's actually been pretty good lately. And
Yeah.
CH is out of the offense. It's just tough because we don't have anyone else. Well, I guess we have some buys this week. We have Mostert and Hill on buy. Mostert, who also looks like might not be playable down the stretch. 30% of
That
snaps
Jeff
last.
Bolton trade went way more under the radar, at least
Yeah.
for our fantasy dynasty brains.
Yeah. But I look at it right now. I mean, this is the worst our starting lineup's going to look the rest of the year. And we still have Lamar, Eckler, Ramondre, Gabe Davis, Jacoby, Dulcich, Garrett Wilson, Jarek McKinnon. So I mean, it's still a good team for sure.
It's
It's
look, and
just not what it was.
it's not what it was, but we've kind of for better or for worse, we've kind of talked ourselves into a spot of it's win or nothing. It's if we don't win now, it's not going to be a failure, but or a disaster. But we've kind of walked ourselves into that sort of position. But as we've said before, look at our roster, look at where, if you look at it, if you were to look at every team in the league and, you know, maybe at the start of the season and you look at our roster, you'd think, yeah, they're very well poised for sustained success. Maybe their window might not be this season, but it's 2-3 years in the line. The fact that we're in this position, it's fantastic. So here's me kind of walking us back a little bit, trying to maybe bring a little bit more perspective and some more reality. But no, we are obviously still the standings would suggest we are still the top dog. So
Yeah.
let's take our foot off the pedal here just because we have a few injuries. I still feel fine. And
Yeah, it's not that bad because I mean it just looks ugly this week because of bias with Jarek, but realistically, the only difference is we're probably gonna play Jacoby and Garrett Wilson, who have both been very good.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, we're playing like good players instead of great players. It's annoying, but it's not like our team's dusty or dead. Um, we'll see. I think the only thing I text you this too. The only thing I think this brings into play is that to win, we'll probably need a 40-point Lamar game. Whereas previously, I think we could win with him putting up like 15.
I was gonna
But
say
now I do think we need Lamar games to win. But
which maybe that will have to happen, and maybe we'll get that because, I mean, they probably have the AFC North. I don't want to say locked up, but I mean, he's gonna have to ball out a few games.
yeah,
For them to win and for us to win. So
yeah. And I guess kind of similar with Gabe. I mean, Gabe was perfect on our team because it's like when
yeah,
he puts up 2 points, it doesn't matter because we're
yeah,
already scoring 140. And then when he puts up 30, that's when we have the 170 weeks.
yeah.
But now it's like, he has 2 points. We're probably scoring 115. um, so we'll see. We'll see for sure. But it's not like we have a bad team. And I mean, our starting lineup right now is super young. The oldest player, second oldest player is Jacoby Myers in our starting lineup. So,
yeah. But again, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Take a look at all of the rosters in the league from an outsider's perspective. You'd point at us, be like, oh, amazing team, but look how young they are. They're set up for sustained success. So
yeah, for sure. We'll see. The only guy who keeps reaching out is the Cordero Patterson, for a second rounder, which, that's a guy. I've been looking at the rookie boards too. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll keep looking at the rookie boards and I'll see, because the second round for us is probably gonna be the 24th pick in the rookie draft.
yeah.
So we'll see. It'd be nice like this time last year, Cordero for a second. Feels a little bit nicer, but there's a chance next year. I mean, he's not even playing, so we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I guess you got to go. I guess, but if you got anything,
I got more time. I got more time.
Oh, nice, perfect.
Yeah, I can chill.
Yeah, I got I don't have any major mailbags this week, so nothing crazy. I would say Falcons game is good to go to. I mean, that stadium's awesome. They got the Michael Turner complimentary photo.
I feel like I don't have a very extensive knowledge of Atlanta Falcon
But
legend.
you know him, yeah.
He's 100% top of the list. So what's the other one? Warwick Dunn? Is that
Warwick Dunn was the one before him. Yeah, it's so cool. So they built it. We went to the Hawks game the night before. It was awesome. OT game versus Zion. It was great. They ended up winning. And we got like 2 free Chick-fil-A sandwiches because of like missed foul shots and stuff. So it's really cool. But it's all like right next door to each other, all the stuff. And where the old Georgia Dome was, it's now, blown up and they turned it into like a big carnival for tailgating. So we had like 4 free beers before the game. At the carnival, just because like they want people to go out to the games, and I guess that's how they want them to get there. And yeah, right, exactly. Like they're enticing you so hard. I mean, the hot dog was $2, the beer was $5. It was nice. Inside the stadium, but outside the stadium it was free. And they were raffling off signed jerseys every 5 minutes. So the closest I got was if you everyone take out a dollar bill, and you have to whoever has the highest serial number wins. And it was for a young Wei Koo signed jersey, and I lost by like 4. I was kind of annoyed.
Dang.
It was cool. We were just holding out for beers. They had like a whole band come by, like a marching band type, the Falcons marching band.
Yeah, they
Cool.
I forget where I was reading it, but they said like in general, Atlanta has made a big push on like fan experience at these games. I asked about the concessions. I remember when you texted me, you sent a picture. I asked about the concessions at the Hawks game. So I remember reading something that
Hawks game was pretty cheap too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they've like made it a point to make concessions, really everything just a little bit cheaper, get fans in the stadium and make it more of an experience. Which I mean, for for places not named LA or New York, maybe getting seats filled isn't the easiest. So that's pretty cool to say that they kind of, find other ways because, if it's the Mecca or if it's,
Yeah. Yeah, I've
it's
never really tailgated at other stadiums, but I would say alone from those 2 days, we got, well, I got 2 free Chick-fil-A sandwiches at the Hawks game from raffles. Um, and then I got a free Zaxby sandwich, 4 free beers, and I think one more free Chick-fil-A sandwich at the Falcons pregame. So I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, like it's just chicken sandwiches, but like it's nice to just get stuff for free and then
yeah,
also not pay a lot of stuff when you're inside the stadium. And I got the free photo with Michael Turner too, so um,
and cool.
it was cool. Yeah, the seats were pretty nice. It's fun. The only thing I will say too, thank God they're playing the Chargers because like this week they're playing the Bears, and the seats are like 350. We got it for 100. So it was nice. The glass wall is so cool. See the skyline in the background. The roof was open, which is cool too. It's a cool stadium. It was nice. Yeah, we just walked in and it was like go to section 320, free picture with Michael Turner. I'm like, oh, okay.
Was that your first time there?
At the new stadium, yes, yes. I went to the Georgia Dome, but not the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was cool. And it was like, it sucks that we lost the game, but it was a great game. It came down to the last play. And it's a game where like they weren't supposed to win. So you're upset that they lost, but you're not like sitting there stewing. So
Yeah.
like the week before the Panthers game, I was just like destroyed. It was rough, but yeah. So I guess we'll say. Oh, one last topic. Who's your World Cup pick?
Oh, great question. All right, so I have I guess a few different ones. So I mean, I guess we have 8 minutes here. I can quickly try to set the scene. I'm glad you asked. I was thinking about like if I was to be asked this question on a professional podcast, much like this one,
Yeah.
I'd say. So the odds-on favorite is Brazil. I don't think Brazil will win because I don't know how to put this, but usually what it takes to win a World Cup, you kind of have to put like negative soccer almost. It's like you just have to find a way to just, as people say, park the bus and you just nick goals. Brazil has a very solid defense, I would say, but that never really is in their DNA to just kind of go and sit back. It's more so you really got to kind of go after it and go and score. So um this isn't popular at all, but I really like Germany gets no love because they're older, but something
Mhm.
about again that Germany's sort of like a Villanova, where it's like they might not be the flashiest, but they
Okay, I like
they
that. I
have a
like
very
that.
I was thinking about like if I had a lot more time looking at every World Cup roster and basically assigning them to a college team in the past, like based on their NCAA pedigree, might be a fun exercise for me to do. But I mean, it'd be easy to say Brazil, it'd be easy to say France. France just lost one of their better players, so that's tough. I don't really like Argentina because obviously I'm Portuguese. I'm a Ronaldo guy, so I'm not going to give Argentina any respect.
Any love for England?
No, not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I've listened to plenty of podcasts, read some articles, and a lot of the English pundits have no real faith in them. It's just they're I don't want to say the window is closing, but a lot of these young talents aren't what maybe they were pegged up to be. Harry Kane, you know the name. Um, he's been, he's an awesome talent, but
Yeah, I saw a lot of complaining about their roster that they chose.
it's so the coach doesn't he's very set in his ways. He has his guys and he picks them and that's that. Doesn't really he's pretty inflexible. There's a lot of ways that they could maybe be better. But he tends to kind of go with this one system. They also have a lot of injuries in certain positions, so it's interesting there. So um it's just hard because while I think that their Brazil is kind of the prohibitive favorite, I just don't know if they play the way that is required to go and win a tournament. That said, I'll look silly when they go on and win it because they just have so much ridiculous talent. Like every position, they have so much depth. So yeah, it could be Brazil, but I'm gonna go with Germany. I'm gonna be a little bit different.
I like it. I like
They
it.
don't have a ton of skill or not skill, a ton of depth in every position. It's not the Germanys of old, but it just strikes me as a year where there isn't one like, oh my gosh, this team is, like kind of like France in 2018. when they won, it was like, yeah, no kidding, they won. Like they just had the
Yeah, right.
top to bottom. It was ludicrous how much talent they had, and it's kind of similar with them this year. But I think there's a lot of big personalities in that team, and that never bodes well in a World Cup. And also, there's a thing called the World Cup curse, where the team who won the World Cup the year prior doesn't make it out of the group, and that's happened with Germany in 2018. It happened with Spain in 2010. It happened with Italy in 2006. So it's like
Oh yeah.
pretty crazy when you really start to look at it. Or Spain, I should say, in 2014 after 2010, and then Italy in 2010 after 2006. But so yeah, that's that. But a few maybe dark horse picks. I really like Netherlands. I really
I
like.
saw some Netherlands hype, but that's fine.
I'm gonna put a bet on them to win. They have Van Dijk, he plays for Liverpool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know
Not been
him.
at his best this year for them,
Okay.
but I mean, at his best, he's the best defender in the world. There's just no doubt. Like no one would deny that. And they have a pretty solid midfield. Their coach, very interesting. I don't know if this could look bad, but he's had cancer, I think, or for a long time, and I don't know if it's like I heard somewhere, I don't know if a guy was like he's exaggerating, but he basically said their manager is dying. Like he's literally dying, but he's still coaching. He's just like obsessed. So they love him. He's a kind of like a crazy guy. He's very rigid. You actually probably remember the name, Louis Van Gaal. He used to coach
Yeah.
Man United. Yeah. So um they're playing for him. Like, they really buy in. They like him. So they're very interesting to me. And then my other dark horse is Uruguay. They have, again,
Oh, okay.
bit biased,
40-1. Yeah.
their striker plays for Liverpool, Darwin Nunez. He got a lot of crap at the start of the season because he had he had a major fee attached to him coming from Benfica, Portuguese team that me and my family support. But started off slow for Liverpool, but now he's really starting to bang him in. And there's rumors, and I haven't even looked at their squad, but I just saw it somewhere that he and Luis Suarez will be starting up top together. So that's Liverpool past.
Wow.
And they also have, who in my opinion is the most underrated player in the world, Fede Valverde, plays for Real Madrid. He's a midfielder, and I don't know what his comp would be. It's hard in football, obviously, because you don't play both sides of the ball. But like, he literally just doesn't ever stop running. Like there's always like the meme, like he doesn't stop running. This guy legit doesn't stop running and is so insanely fast. But now all of a sudden he just scores goals too. Like I don't know how many he has in the season, but like that was never really a part of his game. And now all of a sudden he's scoring. So it's like, you take that, you combine it with a ton of South American passion. Like in South America, like that's just always my big thing too. It's like those teams, like they just play with a ton of passion. They don't necessarily maybe have the squad depth that some of these European teams do to go on and win the whole thing. But look back to a few like every World Cup, there's always a South American team that just kind of goes on a run, and we'll turn some heads. So unfortunately, they are in Portugal's group, so that could be a bit difficult for them for Portugal because Uruguay also knocked out Portugal in the last World Cup, so
Oh wow.
bit of history there, yeah. But they're a really good team. They're a fun team, and again, just a ton of passion there. So the Netherlands are my two dark horses, and honestly, I think it's just a toss up. So definitely a
Cool.
tournament to bet on the guys with the longer odds because you never know.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I would say I've seen three things of note that I like. One, I don't know who this guy is on Brazil, but Anthony. He had this cool quote. You probably saw it. They asked him like, "Oh, is it your dream to win the World Cup?" He's like,
Yeah.
"No, my dream's not to win the fucking World Cup. My dream was to get my family out of the favela."
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
I was like, "I'm rooting for
Here's the
this
thing.
guy, bro."
That's the South American thing though. They don't
Yeah,
have access to these academies like those in Europe do. The South Americans, they play with a different level of passion because it's like it was either soccer or nothing for them. So like they
yeah,
really, really care, and like representing their national team means everything. It's not like
yeah.
England where it's like they grow up in these, and again, I don't want to speak for
True.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
Some English players do grow up in tough situations, of course, but like look at a lot of these European countries, and what all makes them similar is they have access to incredible academies at such a young age. So yeah,
Yeah. I guess 1 minute left. I'll say I pick Belgium every tournament, so I'll keep going with Belgium. And then the last thing, what do
this
you?
might be it for them.
How far do you think the U.S. goes?
They'll get out of the group, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean, if they lose to Wales, it's gonna be tough. It might be Monday and they're done already. So
classic rematch, but yeah, no, I do think they'll go to the group. They might not be the most talented squad, but they can run for days, and it's the most talented squad they've had probably since like 2010. So
oh, perfect. Okay. Hopefully it'll be fun. I'm a little nervous they're playing Wales the first game because it's like
Yeah, a lot of
It's almost
passion.
like
First-
it's
or
almost
first
like
Cup.
well, yeah, but it's also like a must win right away. So it's gonna be
Of
tough.
course, yeah.
Uh,
First Cup in 60 years, I think, for them. So they'll have a lot to play for.
nice. Okay, well, hopefully we win this week. We'll come back top on the standing. So
All
see you
right,
then.
sounds good.
Bye.